Hey guys, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Doing Better with Bree. It's your girl Bree, and baby, we have some things to talk about. Now, if you're new here, welcome. I'm your girl Bree, and we like to get into everything, baby. And that's what we're going to do today. We're just going to have an open discussion about some things that I'm seeing trend and have a conversation about it. If you're new here, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Turn on those notifications, and let's get right into it. Now, we're seeing a trend in these high-profile relationships where if the women are not feeling that their relationship is suiting them for the better, or it's too much drama, too much toxicity, they're not standing for it, they're not even trying to work it out. They are just straight up removing the fathers, getting restraining orders against them, and sometimes moving away. These women build a community of women that are also supportive of them in this process, so that makes them feel empowered to do so. And sometimes rightfully so. And that a lot of these men, they harbor issues with anger and they are men. They have a form of rage in them and anger and mainly testosterone. And sometimes that energy is not directed or used in a proper way and gets taken out on the kids' mothers, wives, and just women in their family in general. And we're just in the era, this boss bae, baddie era, where women are not only dominating it as far as getting the money, but they are wanting to be in control of the type of relationships that they're in. No longer are they wanting to settle for toxic relationships with men just to say that they have a man and their baby daddy is around. We really don't care anymore. If he's around, he's around. And if he's not, he's not. And we're hoping that if you are in a relationship that it's healthy, because if it's not, it's okay to get out of it. And that's what we are seeing these days. We have a lot of women, Black women especially, that have really put a stop to their trauma that has been going on for generations and generations. And I know some people will say, well, you're stopping one trauma, but you're opening up another level of trauma, which we can't win in all areas. But if it saves us mentally and emotionally as a woman, then that's what you're going to have to do. There are studies saying that the mental health of the child is determined on the mental health of the mother. So the mother being nurturing and loving and caring and being in her best self will produce good offspring who are also happy, healthy, mentally okay. Bringing a level of hell no energy up in there, it's okay to let them go. And that is what we are seeing a lot of these high profile relationships do. Just to name a few, we had Sky Jackson getting rid of her baby daddy. She was all for him. Some people are saying that that was more of a featureism relationship, like she just wanted her baby to have certain features and she was dealing with him, and then when he no longer suited her purpose, she got rid of him. She has a current restraining order out on him, or is attempting to get one. We also have Halle Bailey. We all know what happened there with DDG, and then him trying to make her look crazy outside by exposing all of these messages of when she found out that her friend Lala was sleeping with DDG, and then she snapped and she went off and had a moment and said a lot of things that I'm sure she didn't even mean but said because of his actions at the time. She just reacted, but overall she's still an amazing mother, and whatever he was trying to do, his motion to stop her did not work, and she's able to take her baby. Her restraining order is still in place, and she's going to go over to Italy to work. So, you know what I'm saying? That's two right there. And then we have Cardi B out here. Cardi B straight up is just getting divorced from her cheating husband. She's sick of it. She stayed multiple times. She tried to forgive him. She's moved on. She's got a whole new man. At this point, she's going to probably get close to getting a cease and desist in place because he's out here running his mouth and saying all types of terrible things. I wouldn't be surprised if that's next. And maybe a restraining order has to follow if he just does too much. But like I said, we're seeing women put their foot down. Keke Palmer, she did the same thing with her baby daddy. So we are seeing a consistent trend of women who at this time are just not having it with their kids' fathers, and they are demanding a level of respect from them. And what's so crazy about it is a lot of these men just really don't understand how many chances they probably have had before it got to that point. Most women don't want that to be their first reaction. I'm going to get the law involved. Usually there's multiple situations that happen behind closed doors before a woman feels compelled to do something like that, because she has a good bit of evidence built up, and at at this point, she's probably feared that it's a safety issue at this point, especially if you've ever been in a relationship with a man who has put his hands on you, even if it was one time. One time is enough to give you this idea that he might try it again. I need to do something for me and my child and to make sure that I feel safe and cared for, even around this man who at one point said he probably loved me or was wanted to have a family with me. These days, men are over talking and under delivering when it comes to how they run their relationships. I'm sure a lot of them really do get to the point where they wish that they had not done certain things that landed them in a situation where they are on the outs with their kid's mother and have to pretty much ask for permission when doing anything with their child. It's time for our Diddy update. The Diddy trials, like we know, have just begun, and it's already just a whole lot to take in. At this time, they are talking to Jane, which is Diddy's ex-girlfriend, and she's pretty much, her story is aligning with what Cassie had to say. Constant urinary tract infections, intimate with sex workers, no protection was used, mental, emotional, physical abuse, antibiotics for pain. She said a lot, and I'm sure you guys have seen that as well. At this time, like I'm going to continuously say, we understand Diddy is probably going to go back to jail. At this point, we are just wondering for how long. But all of these women seem to have somewhat of the same consistent experience with Diddy, that he was just a really diabolical person who used them physically and discarded of them as necessary and treated them badly. So that is our Diddy update. I really don't even like talking about Diddy like that, but I feel like it's one of those things where like you just kind of got to keep up with just enough, but not too much to where it ruins your whole day. Now, I know we don't talk about politics like that, but I do pay attention to politics a good bit. And with everything that's going on right now with Elon Musk and Trump, it does make me even more worried for the current state of affairs that we are in, because these two were so tight. And now after the exchanges that took place all over social media, mainly X, where, Elon was just letting it all hang out about Jeffrey Epstein and, his connection to Trump and all these other things that he said. And we're just like, okay, yeah, but you also knew that and you continued to work with him and praise him and made sure that he got to where he is now. So all of this backstabbing that's going on, it just really shows you what kind of people we're genuinely dealing with, and that they are willing to backstab each other. So we cannot trust anything that they have said or what is going on or their intentions for our country at this time. We don't know what is going on. And I'm gonna need them to wrap this all the way up because it's embarrassing at this point. And it's time for a little bit of information for you guys. Now, I don't know if this story has hit your FYP, come across your Explore page, or whatever you are on when it comes to social media, but there is a young Black girl who is 16 years old. She does track and field. Her name is Clara Adams. She won her meter race. It was a big deal for her, and she decided to celebrate by taking a fire extinguisher that her father gave her and, putting it out on her cleats on the side. She was stripped of her title for doing this, and they said that it was too much of a celebratory act. It was bad sportsmanship. She just does not feel like it was a valid reason to strip her of that because she worked so hard. And a lot of people also agree with her. She's worked very hard, and it wasn't like this was something where, narcotics or something terrible was involved or some scandal as to why she lost this title. She just decided to celebrate. What was so crazy is that her celebration was paying homage to another track and field star, an Olympic star, Marcus Green, who did the same thing back in the day. I believe they said at the Olympics, who did not lose his title. For them to be trying to take this away from this young Black girl, we definitely want to bring more recognition to that story. And hopefully it does get reinstated sometime soon, because she has worked very hard. And anybody who is an athlete understands the hours, the manpower, the emotional stress that is put into trying to be great, because that's what you do it for, to be great. Any true athlete knows that we do this for greatness. Now, I know we talked about a lot of things today, but there is something to be learned in every situation. And what we can learn let's talk about it. I believe what we can learn from talking about these relationships that are leading to where the fathers are not present and their restraining orders out is we can understand that everything that looks good isn't always good. That's one. And two, that we need to practice discernment when we decide who we're going to be in a relationship with as well as reproduce with. And I know that sounds easier said than done, but if you are one of those people that is able to practice that, then power to you. I hope that you actually get a partner where you guys can both stay in the home, and that you can learn from situations like this, that if you get with men that have certain mindsets and ideologies, that it may not turn out for you in the long run, and you can ultimately end up putting restraining order out on your kid's father and or trying to remove them from the household completely. I almost forgot to talk about Mr. Antoine Massey, the man that is escaped from the prison from Louisiana. It's a group of different guys that have all together, and most of them have been apprehended. But Antoine is going viral right now because he's the one that has gone to social media to proclaim his innocence and has called on many celebrities to help him, like Kim Kardashian, NBA YoungBoy, and so many others, and has been posting apparently from this page. He has not been caught yet and has been on the run for about 3 weeks now. And what's so ironic about his situation is he has a birthday, they say, coming up in June the 15th. So people are wondering if he's going to be out to have him a birthday bash while he is on the run. Some people are hoping that he is able to get away and gets out of the country, while others are hoping that he is apprehended and continues to serve his time. Either way, this whole situation is interesting. Let me know what you think in the comments below about his situation, and if you have seen any of the posts that are circulating around, or his Instagram page. I think that I have the name, and I'll put it here if you want to keep up if he continues to post. But hey, like I always say, don't forget to do 1% better a day. Get your bag and stay out the way. That's all the time I have for today, you guys. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and turn on your notifications so you can know when I post. I hope to see you in my next video. Thank you so much for joining. Don't forget to follow me on all of my socials. Peace.